Breaking news! The Miami Dolphins are going through significant changes this offseason, and one of the main headlines of the last few hours has brought a lot of opinions and some concern for Coach Mike McDaniel. I'll tell you everything that's happening, but first make sure you've already hit the like button if you believe the Miami Dolphins need to sign qualified players for next season. If possible, write it like this: the Miami Dolphins need changes. Man, a lot of people have been wanting Tua Tagovailoa fired, others argue that he should stay. Honestly, I think we need to resolve not only this, but other issues on the team. Now, another thing that has the coaches worried is the departure of backup quarterback Skylar Thompson. After serving as a backup for 3 seasons, Thompson is officially out of Miami and was signed by the Pittsburgh Steelers on a futures contract. This move signals a shift in the Dolphins' approach to quarterback depth, a position that has been a critical issue due to Tua Tagovailoa's injury history. Skylar Thompson, a 7th-round pick out of Kansas State in 2022, has been thrust into action far more often than most backup quarterbacks due to Tua's repeated absences. His most notable appearance was in the 2022 wild card game against the Buffalo Bills, where he nearly led the Dolphins to a shocking victory, only to fall short in a 34-31 loss at Orchard Park. Despite these flashes, it was clear to many fans and analysts that Thompson was not a reliable long-term backup option. His performances were inconsistent, and the general consensus among Dolphins fans was that the team needed to upgrade the position to better support Tua. Chris Greer, the Dolphins general manager, has acknowledged the need for improvement in the backup quarterback role. The team is expected to pursue both free agent quarterbacks and rookie prospects in the upcoming NFL draft to fill that gap. Some names already being discussed as potential targets include veteran quarterbacks like Jacoby Brissett and Andy Dalton, both of whom could provide much-needed stability behind Tua. Dalton, in particular, has been linked to the Dolphins in the past. There were rumors during the 2023 season that Miami considered trading for Dalton when he was with the Carolina Panthers. If Miami can secure him on a 1-year deal worth around $4 million, it could be a smart move to solidify the backup role. However, free agency isn't the only avenue the Dolphins are exploring. There are intriguing quarterback prospects in the mid to late rounds of the draft, and Miami could use one of their 10 projected picks in 2025 to select a developmental quarterback. Names like Jalen Milroe, Quinn Ewers, and Kyle McCord are generating buzz as potential mid-round options who could grow behind Tua. The key for Miami will be balancing immediate reliability with future potential. By pairing a veteran backup with a young prospect, the Dolphins could finally put an end to their backup quarterback woes, a problem that has plagued the team for several seasons. The departure of Skylar Thompson marks the end of an era, albeit a brief one, in Miami. His time with the team was marked by ups and downs, and while he wasn't able to establish himself as a long-term solution, there's no ill toward him from the organization. Thompson now has a chance to prove himself with the Steelers, where he'll participate in off-season activities and try to make the 53-man roster. For Miami, though, it's time to move forward and find a backup quarterback they can trust to step in when Tua is sidelined. The need for a competent backup quarterback is crucial for a team with playoff aspirations. The Dolphins have a talented roster, but their success hinges on the availability of their starting quarterback. Tua's injury history makes it imperative that Miami addresses this issue comprehensively this offseason. If they can secure a reliable backup, it could make the difference between another disappointing postseason exit and a deep playoff run. What do you think about Skylar Thompson's departure, Dolphins fans? Are you relieved that Miami is moving in a different direction, or do you think he deserved another shot? And who do you want to see as the next backup quarterback in Miami? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Beyond the quarterback news, another major development for the Miami Dolphins is the firing of special teams coordinator Danny Crossman. This move comes as no surprise to fans who closely followed the team's struggles in 2023. Miami's special teams unit was one of the worst in the NFL, ranking 31st out of 32 teams according to Pro Football Focus, with a dismal grade of 58.7. For a team looking to contend, having a subpar special teams unit is a recipe for disaster, and it was clear that a change needed to be made. Crossman's departure opens the door for a fresh approach to special teams in Miami, and the search for his replacement is already generating buzz. One of the top candidates being mentioned is Jeremy Springer, the current special teams coordinator for the New England Patriots. Springer's resume is impressive. He took a Patriots unit that was ranked dead last in special teams the year before he took over and transformed them into the second-best unit in the league within 1 season. That type of turnaround speaks volumes about his ability to coach and implement effective schemes. The question, however, is whether Springer would make a lateral move from New England to Miami. Typically, coaches don't leave a coordinator position for the same role elsewhere unless there's a compelling reason, like a strained relationship with the current head coach or a significant difference in pay. But with the Patriots undergoing their own coaching changes, there's a possibility that Springer could become available. If so, he would be an ideal candidate for the Dolphins. Another intriguing option is Ben Jacobs, currently the assistant special teams coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. Jacobs comes from the top-ranked special teams unit in the league and has a solid reputation as a former player who made his mark on special teams during his 6-year NFL career. Hiring Jacobs would represent a promotion for him, making it a realistic possibility that he would jump at the chance to join Miami. The Dolphins could benefit from Jacobs' first-hand experience with a successful unit, and his player background gives him a unique perspective on what it takes to succeed in that phase of the game. The third name in the mix is Heath Farwell, the special teams coordinator for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Farwell has been in that role for the past 3 seasons and previously served in the same capacity with the Buffalo Bills. Like Springer and Jacobs, Farwell has overseen significant improvements in his unit's performance. The Jaguars ranked 4th in the NFL in special teams last season, another testament to his coaching abilities. However, similar to Springer, it remains to be seen if Farwell would consider a lateral move to Miami. The Dolphins' search for a new special teams coordinator is about more than just improving their rankings. It's about building a complete team that can perform in all 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. The best teams in the league don't just rely on their star players to win games. They win in the margins, and special teams is a critical part of that. Take the Bengals, for example. Their success in recent years has been largely attributed to their offense led by Joe Burrow and a solid defense, but their top-ranked special teams unit has also played a pivotal role. A well-coached special teams unit can change the momentum of a game, whether it's through a well-timed punt return, a clutch field goal, or a critical stop on kickoff coverage. Miami must recognize that if they want to take the next step as a franchise. It's also worth noting that improving special teams doesn't necessarily require a roster overhaul. Unlike offense or defense, where talent acquisition is often the key to improvement, special teams success is more about coaching, scheme, and attention to detail. That's why finding the right coordinator is so important for Miami. With the right hire, the Dolphins could go from one of the worst units in the league to one of the best in a single season, much like what happened with the Patriots under Springer. Looking at the bigger picture, these moves, the departure of Skylar Thompson and the firing of Danny Crossman, reflect a broader shift in the Dolphins' mindset. The team is no longer content with mediocrity. They recognize that if they want to be a true contender in the AFC, they need to address their weaknesses head-on, whether it's finding a reliable backup quarterback or fixing their special teams. For years, Miami has been a team that shows flashes of potential but falls short when it matters most. The Dolphins front office, led by Chris Greer, appears to be taking a more aggressive approach this offseason, addressing areas that have long been overlooked. But actions speak louder than words, and Dolphins fans will be watching closely to see if the team follows through on its promises. Now, Dolphins fans, we want to hear from you. Are you satisfied with the direction the team is taking this offseason? Do you think the Dolphins will finally get the backup quarterback situation right? And who do you want to see as the next special teams coordinator? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more exclusive Miami Dolphins content all offseason long.